Good afternoon. I'm Principal Charlie Hollerith, and it's an honor to welcome you to the Robert C.J. Trob Art and Music Scholarship Awards program. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Again, it's my honor to welcome you here this afternoon as we honor 8 outstanding art candidates and 4 outstanding music candidates. It feels good to be back on stage giving these scholarships again. This is the oldest scholarship in our district. As I reflected on what I wanted to say about our 12 talented students, one word came to my mind: amazing. Amazing how good their skills and talents are, as you just witnessed. Amazing all they have accomplished as I read through their biographies and what they've done, not only over the course of 4 years here at school, but throughout our community. Amazing how they have extended their work to help others. Amazing their commitment to their craft while taking a rigorous course of study here at Bloomfield Hills High School. And amazing, quite frankly, they did this all in a pandemic. And finally, amazing and an honor for me to say thank you to all of them for a job well done. I have a feeling this will not be the final recognition for their talents as they hopefully continue their passion in art and music. Unfortunately, Lucy Bates, family representative for the Trob family, could not be with us here today. Lucy zoomed in for the adjudication process last week, and I know was very happy with the process and really enjoyed getting to meet all our Trob candidates. This year, we had 2 former Trob winners come back and be part of the adjudication process, which made this year's Trob scholarship even more special. Since Lucy could not be here, she asked if I would read her remarks, which I'm happy to do at this time. And she starts off, "Good afternoon. I know everyone is eager to hear the names of this year's winners, but first let me tell you a story, a history. Chapter 1. Elisabeth Taylor was born in Taylor, Michigan. In 1900, as a young artist, she traveled to Paris, staying a year in pursuit of her dream. She was followed by a suitor who tried to convince her to return. She relented. They married. Together, they moved from Detroit to Bloomfield Hills in the mid-1930s. Robert Traub shared her interest in the arts. They gathered with friends to form a quartet, with Elisabeth playing violin and Robert playing the flute. She was a painter and his craft was wood carving. They not only appreciated the arts, they practiced them each day. Merrill Bates became their son-in-law. After Robert's health finally failed, Merrill offered a suggestion to his grieving mother-in-law. As the president of the Bloomfield Hills School Board, he saw an opportunity for her to establish a unique memorial for her beloved husband. It could foster the arts they both cherished and create a living legacy. Chapter 2. For 63 years, the scholarship has been offered at Bloomfield Hills High School, then also to Losser High School, now back to Bloomfield Hills High School once again. Over 220 seniors have received the award for outstanding achievement and promise in music and art. Many hundreds more prepared and competed for it. Chapter 3. Each year, the applicants plan for the Trob adjudications. Each year, juries assembled to listen to music and to look at art. There are questions, intense discussions, and yes, votes taken. Each year, the parents, faculty, and much of the school community acknowledge the Robert J.C. Trob Memorial Travel Scholarship event and what the students have achieved. And finally, the last chapter. You, today's scholarship contenders, your parents and faculty, are a living legacy. Art and music continue to live through you. From Lucy Bates. And we thank I would also be remiss if I did not also introduce special guests with us this afternoon. First of all, our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Pat Watson. Pat has the distinct honor of announcing the Trob alternates and winners for art and music today. So Pat's got a lot of pressure on him, but very excited, as we all are, to honor our candidates this afternoon. I'd also like to recognize our school board president with us today, Mr. Paul Colin. I'd also like to recognize school board member, Mr. Howard Barron. Our assistant superintendent for instruction, Mr. Todd Bidlack. And our director of instructional equity, Mrs. Margaret Schultz. And I'd also like to thank my administrative team, Jessica, Kathy, and David. David was part of the art adjudication. Kathy was part of the music adjudication, and so I thank them for their efforts in helping with this scholarship program again this year. And as the saying says, let's get on with the show. So at this time, it's my indeed honor to call up to the stage to introduce this year's art candidates, Mr. Matt Beauchamp.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Beauchamp. This is Barb Brownson. She teaches with me. We've been teaching together for almost 30 years. So we are going to request that the Trob candidates come up here onto stage. So probably come up this way. When I call your name, come on up and remain on stage. Noah Casper. Henry Earls. Chloe Erickson. Carly Finnerty. Madeline Grace. Liz Mitchell. Krista Schwanke. And Eliana Wills. These are our Class of 2021 Trob candidates. Let's hear it for everybody. Okay, thank you, candidates. You may return to your seats. You may return to your seats. According to British sculptor Henry Moore, he said, "The soul cannot thrive in the absence of art." Living in a pandemic has been brutal. The fear, grief, and uncertainty has taken its toll on all of us. In the early days of the stay-at-home order, we found comfort by watching movies and TV shows, playing video games, listening to music, and reading books. All of these things were made possible by artists, writers, designers, actors, and musicians. When we weren't consuming media, many of us wrote our own poetry, drew and painted our own artwork, played on our own instruments, or made our own videos as important self-care and expression in an emotionally punishing time. For most of us, the arts were not an afterthought or frill. They were a vital lifeline that kept us going. After the grief of not having Trob in 2020, we vowed that the show would go on in 2021. The competition format looked very different as artists presented their artwork simultaneously to jurors in person as well as on Zoom. However, this did not diminish the quality of the presentations. We saw young artists who, despite many setbacks, continued to create amazing art. You are survivors. The jurors of this year's Trob Art adjudication were impressed by the quality of the artwork and the depth of the presentations. We saw fashion designers who will go out and go on to create the next generation of wearable art. We saw activist artists who combined their passion for art and the environment to change the future. We saw the architects who will design new buildings that are efficient, innovative, and beautiful. We saw designers who will create the next generation of characters in video games to be enjoyed by fans across the world. Seeing this year's Trob art presentations was a literal glimpse into the future of art and design. As I conclude my remarks, I would like everyone to consider this profound thought. Someday, the creations of these talented artists will bring someone joy. They may be somebody else's inspiration, or they may actually be a very vital reason that someone's soul continues to thrive. Thank you.
And now it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Pat Watson, to announce this year's Trob Art Alternate and this year's Trob Art Winner.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Nice seeing you as well. It is an honor and a privilege to announce not only the art, but music Trob winners as well. I will start first with the Trob Art Alternate. This year's alternate for the Trob Art Award is the recipient of a total of 16 Scholastic Art Awards within just 2 years, and has been involved in a stunning list of artistic endeavors throughout high school, ranging from being a junior designer for an artist monograph, to creating a collaborative piece for an art show, to performing in a performance piece, to designing artistic flyers. Inspired by the art of Finnish architect Elisabeth Saarinen, who I also believed resided in Bloomfield Hills for a while, this student would use the Trob Award monies to visit Finland to discover firsthand the roots of Saarinen's work. Beyond an extraordinary artistic resume, this intellectual student has a 4.0 GPA, a student athlete in varsity soccer and marathons. I'm proud to announce that Henry Earls is this year's art alternative for the Trob Award. And now for the Trob Art Winner. The winner is, no, just kidding. There's much more than that. This year's Art Award winner has demonstrated a passion for art through multiple summer experiences and art courses, and matriculating in 9 art classes at BHHS. 9 art classes. Charlie and team, great job. Matt, amazing that a student would have the ability to take 9 art classes. They have designed art logos for multiple school and district-wide projects and won multiple scholastic art awards. Fascinated by the ancient stories of Greece, Rome, these works inspire much of the students' work. The Trob Award monies will help the student travel to cities like Athens, Delphi, and Rome. These ancient cities will continue to inspire and populate the fantasy worlds of this artist's work, which often take the form of dynamic storytelling within the gaming world. Planning to major in entertainment arts at the College for Creative Studies, this well-rounded individual is also the captain of the forensics team after being a 4-year team member, is a 4-year varsity girls diving team member, and regularly gives back to the community through service action. It is my honor to announce Carly Finnerty is the deserving recipient of this year's Robert C.J. Traub Memorial Scholarship Travel Fund for Art.
And now it's my pleasure to call to the podium Mr. Scott Wolf, who will introduce this year's music Trob candidates.
I'd like to invite the music candidates to please come up on stage, please. Come on up. Yes. I'll introduce them in a moment, but we're going to have them come up on stage right now. It's my pleasure to be part of such a great tradition in Bloomfield Hills Schools. Since 1956, the Bloomfield Hills Schools has honored and supported young artists through the wonderful gift of the Traub family. The Trob Family Artist Scholarships have benefited the reputation of Bloomfield Hills Schools as a destination for great arts programs. And while across the state and nation the pandemic has made it very difficult for artists and musicians, the Traub Scholarship has remained a reward for the finest performers in both visual and performing arts. The artists before you represent the entire Bloomfield musical community. As student musicians, they perform alongside each other every day and are fixtures in the performing arts wing of the school. And just as a side note, every single one of these musicians in their interview said something that was more profound than their solos themselves. They all indicated that the reason why they love their music is because of what they're able to share with each other and with you. And that's a very powerful thing to say in a pandemic especially, because two of these members we haven't seen in school physically for about 14 months. And for them to come in even today and for that audition is quite an accomplishment even in and of itself. So on behalf of all of the music family, all of your music teachers, from elementary school through high school, your private instructors, your family members, your siblings, and most importantly, the friends that you make music with, we say thank you. I'm going to take a minute to just introduce each one of our musicians and have them take a step forward when I call their name. Jaden Montgomery, as a captain of his bowling team and principal bassist for the symphony, Jaden is a model of a well-rounded thinker. His reflective nature and hardworking attitude has prepared him for every success that he will encounter. Thank you, Jaden. Joey Rankin. As an aspiring musical theater actress, Joey has earned principal roles in A Chorus Line, Pirates of Penzance, and the current musical Into the Woods as Cinderella. Her positive work ethic and nurturing attitude provides the necessary leadership for a successful career in the arts. Thank you, Joey. Grace Snyder, an IB music student, a student leader in the symphony orchestra, and a vocalist. Grace's works hard to understand the music she is performing and the background of all of the performers that she's with. Her great attention to detail will take her skills to the next level, whatever she decides to pursue. Thank you, Grace. And of course, Erin Washington, a section leader in the marching band, a principal clarinetist in the symphony orchestra and symphony band. Erin exemplifies the best of a remarkable student. Her commitment to making great music drives her in all of her decision-making and will continue to do so as she moves into her university career. Thank you, Erin. These four musicians are clearly some of the finest representatives of the Bloomfield Hills Music Program and representatives of our music department. As representative of all of the music teachers from elementary to high school, I once again congratulate you. Please welcome back to the podium Mr. Pat Watson. Thank you.
I will begin by announcing the Trob Music Alternate. Excuse me. This year's alternate is an accomplished musician who received 2 first division ratings for MSBOA solo and ensemble competition. Considering the study of music in college, this student has performed with the symphony orchestra at BHHS for 2 years and has studied the bass under Dale Anderson. Congratulations to Jaden Montgomery for being this year's Trob Music Alternate. And now for the Trob Music winner. This year's winner of the Trob Music Award has performed on stage countless times. Starring in 8 yes, 8 stage and musical performances at BHHS alone, in addition to performing in community theater musicals many times over the years. This student participated in the Michigan Solo and Ensemble competitions in 9 different performance pieces over the course of 3 years. A student of voice, acting, and dance, this Trob Award winner has a passion for acting and plans to major in musical theater. A deep interest in Shakespearean acting inspires this dedicated thespian to want to travel to London to experience Shakespearean work in the place where it was born. Between the many Bloomfield Hills High School theater classes and workshops, theatrical master classes outside of the school, private training in voice and theater, and in unique fields like aerial skills and stage combat, musical training in handbells, and so much more. It is my honor to announce that Joey Rankin is the deserving recipient of this year's Robert C. Taub Memorial Scholarship Fund for Music.
Wow. Just a few other closing thoughts that we want to mention and I want to recognize. First of all, I want to thank all of you, parents and family members out there, for your support of these outstanding students. I know it seems like 12 years goes really quickly, doesn't it, of school in a blink of an eye. But I know whether it's the rehearsals after school, competitions on the weekends, whatever it may be, you made a significant sacrifice to get your son and daughter to this point. So on behalf of all of us in the district, thank you for your commitment to your student and to commitment to our art and music programs here in the district and at Bloomfield Hills High School. These students would not have gotten, I don't believe, as far as they did if not for the talents of our teaching staff. And they are with us here today on the side. So I would ask them to stand. Could you please help recognize our art and music teachers here at Bloomfield Hills High School? These are 12 of the best students a principal and a staff could ever put up in front of anybody. And so it's without delay that I think the 12 of them, deserve one more round of applause. Could I have this year's candidates please stand and be recognized one more time? Thank you all very much for coming, and congratulations to all of you. Thank you.